We had just lost a house offer when my sister-in-law said, "Don't worry, you can always rent. People like you aren't meant to own." I bit my tongue. A month later, I bought a better house in cash after receiving a large bonus at work. I didn't say a word. I just invited the whole family for dinner, then quietly slid the keys and deed across the table mid-meal. She choked on her wine. I just kept eating.
Reddit.
This is something that happened about 3 years ago, but I still smile when I think about it. I'm a 39-year-old guy living in Dayton, Ohio. I'm not flashy. I'm not some rich hotshot. I just work hard. So does my wife, Jessica. We aren't fancy people. We just wanted a home of our own. After years of saving, we finally started looking for a house. It wasn't easy. Prices were crazy. Every house we liked got 10 offers in a day. Still, we stayed hopeful. We saw a sweet 3-bedroom ranch on a quiet street, big trees out front, a backyard big enough for a dog someday. We fell in love. We made an offer, full asking price, clean paperwork, nothing weird. We got rejected. Someone came in with an all-cash offer and beat us. It sucked. I remember Jessica sitting on the couch, holding the rejection email, tears in her eyes. I hated seeing her like that. That Sunday, we went over to Jessica's parents' house for dinner. Whole family was there. Her parents, her brother Matt, his wife Melissa, and their teenage boys. We were trying to act normal.
Smile, eat, sha.
Jessica's mom asked about the house. I told them we lost it. Jessica's voice cracked a little when she talked about it. She really loved that house. Then Melissa, sitting there swirling her wine, said it. "Don't worry," she said, smiling like it was funny. "You can always rent. People like you aren't meant to own." She said it loud enough that everyone heard. Everyone just went quiet. Forks stopped moving. Even the kids froze. Jessica's face turned beet red. She stared down at her plate. I felt like someone had punched me right in the gut. Melissa laughed lightly, like she was making a harmless joke. But her eyes? They weren't joking. They were smug.
I should have said something.
I should have stood up for Jessica. I should have told Melissa to keep her mouth shut. But I didn't. I bit the inside of my cheek so hard, I tasted blood. I just wanted to get out of there without causing a scene. We left early, making up some excuse about work. Jessica cried a little in the car. She kept saying it wasn't a big deal, but I knew it was. I was furious. Not just at Melissa. At myself. For not standing up for us. But right then I made a decision. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to fight. I was going to win. The surprise a few weeks later, something crazy happened. At my job, there had been rumors about a buyout. Nobody knew for sure if it was real or if it would actually happen. Well, it happened. And fast. Our division was valuable. The new owners didn't want us to leave. So they gave out massive retention bonuses to key employees. When I got the email, I thought it was a mistake. I had to read it 3 times. They were giving me a 6-figure bonus. After taxes.
Cash.
I sat there at my desk, staring at the screen, feeling like I might pass out. I didn't tell anyone right away. I just called Jessica. "I think we should start house hunting again," I said. She was confused. I didn't explain yet. I wanted it to be a surprise. This time, we looked at better neighborhoods. Bigger houses. I didn't care about minor stuff like ugly carpet or old paint. I wanted solid bones. After 2 weekends of searching, we found it. A 4-bedroom colonial in Washington Township. Half an acre of land. A front porch, straight out of a movie. Wood-burning fireplace. Big open kitchen. It needed some updating, but it had soul. It was listed high. I didn't blink. I told the realtor. Full asking price.
Cash.
Close fast. 2 weeks later, it was ours. Jessica and I stood in the empty living room, keys in hand.
She cried.
I almost did too. It felt like a dream. Planning the dinner, I didn't tell the family right away. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted Melissa to see it before she realized. So, I told Jessica we should host a family dinner at our new place. We told everyone it was just to celebrate a new chapter for us. We didn't say what the new chapter was. Melissa showed up dressed like she was attending some Hollywood brunch. Designer scarf, expensive sunglasses, giant leather bag. Acting like she was doing us a favor by coming. The second she stepped inside, she started looking around. "Nice place," she said, voice dripping with surprise. I shrugged. "Yeah, we're renting it for now," I said casually. I could see the gears turning in her head. "Of course," she said, fake smile plastered on her face. The rest of the family showed up. Everyone was cheerful, chatting, laughing. Jessica and I played it cool. We had lasagna baking, fresh bread, salad. Wine flowing. The house was warm and smelled amazing. Nobody suspected a thing. The reveal halfway through dinner, when everyone was full and relaxed, I reached under the table. Pulled out a plain manila folder. Set it on the table right next to the bread basket. Melissa looked at it. "What's that?" she asked, laughing lightly. Jessica smiled. "Honey, didn't you want to show everyone?" I nodded. I opened the folder. Inside, the deed. Title in our names. Paid in full. I slid it across the table toward Melissa, without a word. She picked it up, thinking it was a joke. Her face changed fast. Her smile dropped. Her eyes scanned the page. Her cheeks went pale, then red. She started coughing. Literally choking on her wine. Matt had to pat her on the back. Jessica just sipped her wine, watching. I kept eating lasagna. The rest of the table started murmuring, passing the deed around, realizing what it was.
No bragging. No speech.
No, I told you so. Just cold, hard facts. Melissa finally stopped coughing. She pushed her wine glass away and stared at me like she didn't recognize me. "So, you bought this?" she said, voice thin. "In cash," I said, wiping my mouth with my napkin. Jessica reached over and squeezed my hand under the table. I could feel her trembling, half from excitement, half from nerves. Melissa's eyes darted to Matt, like she was waiting for him to say something. But Matt just looked down at his plate, embarrassed. He wasn't going to save her this time. The rest of the family started congratulating us. Jessica's mom even stood up and hugged her. Her dad clapped me on the back. But Melissa stayed quiet. She barely touched the rest of her food. After dessert, when most of the family moved to the living room, Melissa cornered me in the kitchen. She set her wine glass down hard on the counter. "You didn't have to show off like that," she hissed.
Isterta her.
"Show off. You know what you were doing," she said, eyes flashing. "Making me look stupid." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even step closer. "You did that all by yourself, Melissa," I said. She went red again. I could tell she wanted to scream at me, but she couldn't. Too many people just a few feet away. Instead, she grabbed her purse, stormed back into the living room, and yanked on Matt's arm. "We're leaving," she snapped. Matt looked confused but followed her out without a word. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the windows. The fallout the next day, Matt texted me. "Matt, sorry about last night. She's just embarrassed. She didn't mean anything by it." I didn't even reply. 2 days later, Jessica's mom called. She wanted to apologize for Melissa's behavior. I told her she didn't owe us an apology. Melissa did. Of course, that apology never came. In fact, things got worse. Melissa started talking behind our backs, telling other family members we must have come into money somehow, hinting it was shady. She told one of Jessica's cousins that Jessica must have gotten some inheritance and wasn't telling the truth about it. Total lies. We worked for every damn penny. Jessica found out and cried again. This time it wasn't sad tears. It was angry. She called her brother, demanded Melissa stop spreading lies. Matt apologized again, but nothing really changed. Melissa couldn't handle the fact that we had something she thought we didn't deserve. The next twist, about a month later, we got another surprise. A certified letter showed up at our new house. It was from a lawyer. At first, I thought it was some mix-up. But when I opened it, my hands started shaking with anger. Melissa had filed a noise complaint with the township against us. Claimed we were having loud parties every weekend. Said we were lowering property values. demanded formal review of our property. It was total crap. We'd had one family dinner.
One.
And even that ended before 9 p.m. Jessica was furious. I was beyond furious. I called the township office. The woman who answered the phone sounded exhausted. "You're not the first ones," she said. "This neighbor has made complaints before." I asked, "Which neighbor?" She paused, like she wasn't supposed to tell me. Then she lowered her voice. "Melissa, last name?" Jessica almost threw her coffee mug across the kitchen when I told her. Melissa lived 2 blocks away in a different subdivision. She wasn't even our neighbor. She went out of her way to file fake complaints against us.
It was pure spite.
The confrontation, Jessica had had enough. She told me we were going to the next family gathering, her dad's birthday, and confronting her, face to face.
No yelling. No screaming.
Just facts. Just the truth. The night of the party, we showed up calm, dressed nice, carrying a birthday gift. Melissa stiffened when she saw us. I could tell she thought we wouldn't dare say anything. Halfway through the night, while everyone was having cake, Jessica stood up. "Can we have everyone's attention for a minute?" she said, voice clear. Everyone turned. Jessica held up the letter from the township. "We got this," she said. "It's a noise complaint. From Melissa." Melissa's face went stiff. She opened her mouth to deny it, but Jessica kept talking. "The township confirmed it was you. They also said you've made other fake complaints before." Silence. Dead silence. Matt looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. Jessica's dad, God bless him, set his fork down and turned to Melissa. "Is that true?" Melissa stammered. She tried to spin it, said she was concerned about the neighborhood, that she didn't want loud renters ruining things. She couldn't even admit the truth. She couldn't just say she hated the idea of us succeeding. Jessica nodded calmly. "Good to know," she said. "From now on, we'll be keeping our distance." We said goodbye to her parents, hugged them tight, and walked out. We didn't say another word to Melissa. The deep cut a few weeks after the confrontation, things got quieter. Melissa stayed away.
No texts.
No calls.
No plans.
It almost felt too quiet. Then, out of nowhere, Jessica got a message from one of her cousins. It was a screenshot of a Facebook post. Melissa had made a long, passive-aggressive post about ungrateful family members who pretend they earned their success but really took handouts and played dirty. She didn't name us, but everyone knew who she was talking about. The comments were brutal. Her friends all chimed in, agreeing with her, calling people scammers and fakes. Jessica broke down, crying again. It wasn't just mean. It was public. Melissa wanted everyone to doubt us. She couldn't stand that we had done something she thought we couldn't do. That's when Melissa made a fatal mistake. One of her comments slipped out something she didn't mean to share. She said, "Not everyone has the luxury of a secret side job or under-the-table cash like some people." It was meant as another jab at us. But it set off alarm bells in a few family members' heads. Because guess what? Melissa had a secret side hustle herself. She was running a little online boutique, selling designer knockoffs, handbags, shoes, jewelry. She wasn't paying taxes on any of it. A cousin who worked in finance saw the comment, got curious, and did a little digging. It didn't take long to find her Etsy shop. Fake designer goods everywhere. It was illegal. And worse for her, she wasn't reporting a dime of the income. Jessica's cousin sent us the screenshots. "You didn't hear it from me," she said. "I saved every file, every picture, every comment. I wasn't going to act out of rage. I was going to wait for the perfect moment. The payback." I sat on the screenshots for a few weeks. I wasn't sure if I should use them. Part of me wanted to just let it go and move on. But every time I thought about Jessica crying again, every time I thought about that night at her parents' house when Melissa humiliated her, I knew I couldn't. Melissa had played dirty first. I was just playing smarter. I didn't report her directly. I sent an anonymous tip to the IRS. Simple. Quiet.
Clean.
I attached everything. Screenshots of her shop, listings, social media posts bragging about sales, even the part where she admitted to under-the-table cash. I didn't expect much. The government is slow. But about 6 months later, we heard the news. When it hit, Jessica's mom called, whispering like it was some terrible secret. Apparently, Melissa and Matt had been audited. Hard. The IRS wasn't playing around. They froze one of their bank accounts. Melissa's boutique was shut down. She owed thousands in back taxes, fines, penalties. Word spread through the family like wildfire. Matt even had to sell his truck to cover some of the bills. Their perfect image? Shattered. Melissa stopped showing up to family events. When she did come around once or twice, she sat in the corner, quiet, not making eye contact with anyone. People started whispering about her instead of us. We didn't have to defend ourselves anymore. The truth had done all the work for us. My own mistake now. To be fair, I'm not a perfect hero here. Holding on to that anger for so long? It changed me a little. Made me colder. Jessica noticed it. One night, sitting out on our porch, she looked at me and said, "I miss how soft you used to be." That stung worse than anything Melissa ever did. I realized that while revenge felt good in the moment, it also chipped away at me. I got the last laugh, sure. But part of me wishes I could have let it go sooner, for Jessica's sake, not mine. Final word: Melissa doesn't talk to us now. Matt still sends a Christmas card once a year, but that's it. Jessica and I still live in our house. We still sit on the front porch on warm nights. We worked hard. We earned everything. And no one, not even smug, spiteful Melissa, can take that away from us. Not anymore.